crafty friends, this is Grace and welcome to scrapbook process video number 95 for me, entitled Believe in Miracles. So this layout is going to be based off of the Mercy Tiara 27-day challenge. Every month she puts together a challenge where it's actually based off, well, the winner of the previous month will pick the challenge. And for the month of June, the challenge was to express ourselves, to scrapbook, first of all, to scrapbook a photo of us and kind of focus on the journaling about our feelings. And so I decided to finally scrapbook my feelings about um, being pregnant with my third one. If you followed my YouTube channel or my blog for a while, you would know that my first two kids were born pretty close together, and then it was almost 9 years later with my second one when we had our third one. So it was a pretty long gap, and there was a lot of kind of interesting thoughts of um, people why we got pregnant. People thought that it was a mistake, or I was having some kind of midlife crisis, and it was kind of an interesting time. Um, so I finally scrapbooked my feelings about that pregnancy. Basically, what happened was that I personally had that feeling that somebody was missing in our family, and it took us a long time to kind of focus on that because of all the other things that was going on in our lives. So a little bit about this layout. I started off with these butterflies. They were cut from a, a free cut file that I got from my silhouette cameo, and I just dressed them up because they were cut from a black cardstock. And I dressed them up with some stamping, actually some white heat embossing. And then I'm going to add that as an accent to my page. And then I'm just cutting up some papers. Now these papers were put together for my baby album kit. I believe the orange one on the background and in that strip that I added on the left are both from Basic Gray. And that Believe in Miracles paper was actually a paper that had those it was part of the scrapbook that I got for my baby album, and it had some kind of pattern paper, but it was made into kind of, I don't want to say sheet protectors, but it was made into pages for that album. So it had that 3-hole punch in there, and then I just trimmed that out. Now I'm using a 4x6 Project Life card or pocket scrapbooking card as my mat for my photo. I don't see myself using this uh, specific card anymore, so I just use that as my mat. And I'm going to do a little bit of layering for this paper, for the photo. All of these scraps are actually from my baby album. I will make sure to link up the playlist of baby album pages in the description below, or if you can't find that there, you can always go to my YouTube channel and there should be a playlist for that. I wanted to make sure that I used the products specifically for my baby album for this page, because this is going to be going to on in his baby album. So I've already talked about a little bit of the journaling, and the journaling actually was, I wrote that down a while back. I had to write a personal story for one of my classes at school. And so I thought of doing that personal story because that was still fresh in my mind when I typed that up. Now I'm adding just a strip of yellow cardstock with some scallop edge, because I've noticed that there was that yellow. It's not really true yellow, but there was some yellow in the chevron that I've added in the background of my photo, and I wanted to add more yellow to the left side of the page because it was just missing some of that hint of that color. Um, and also I was wearing a yellow shirt in the photo, and so I thought that that would be good as well. So normally I would cut out the inside of this really dark orange paper. That's how I kind of use or be efficient with my supplies. But I've noticed lately that I just have all these 8 by 8 squares and I never really use them. So I just decided I'm not gonna cut that out for this particular page. I feel like I have a lot of papers already in my stash that if I don't cut this out, that it won't be the end of the world for me. So that is why I'm not cutting that out. And I really like this paper, that Believe in Miracles paper, and I'm kind of glad that I saved that up, and I just had to just cut out those punched holes on the edge of it. And this little strip of dotted paper, I believe, is an Echo Park. Again, this is just a um, piece of scrap that is from my baby album. I wanted to make sure that all of the items that I used here were also can also be seen in the other pages of the album, so that there's some cohesion and the connection to this page with the rest of the pages in the album. And then I just added this American Crafts ribbon. It has some hearts on it, and I thought that would be really cute. And I'm finally, I like the way that the layering is. Oh, by the way, that centerpiece, it wasn't long enough for, to go on top and bottom of my page. And so I just cut that out in the middle. I did add some scallop punches on both top and bottom edges of it, just so that it will coordinate with that scallop edge on the left side. And then I decided that before I adhered any of this stuff, that I would add photo corners on the edges of my photo, just to give it another layer and also to give it a little bit more emphasis against all of the pattern paper in the background. And at first I decided maybe I should pop this up, but then I figured no, I wanted it flat. It already has enough accent on it that I don't need to emphasize it anymore than it already did. And then here is where I ran out of my paper strip, my strip adhesive, and so I'm just adding some craft glue dots to my journaling, and I printed that off on just a regular white uh, cardstock, and then I trimmed that to size. So the title was already on the paper, which I totally loved, and it's Believe in Miracles because it fit perfectly that we believed in miracles, and we really didn't know that he was going to come 9 years later as part of our family, but now that he is part of our family, we are so happy that he is part of it. And he is a really great addition to our little unit. So here I'm adding the butterflies, and I'm going to be adding that in 3 different locations in my page. And I'm just curling up the edges to make it look like it's fluttering a little bit. And then I did make a few handmade embellishments with my scrapbook, or with my scrap stash. And so the remember on the left side of my photo is part of that. And I wanted to finish off the butterflies with some enamel dots, and then I'm gonna add a couple more tiny ones in 3 different places, very close to the cluster that I've already built. And I'm going to be adding 2 different colors, or 2 different hues of pink, and then I'm pulling out some yellow as well. And then I believe that I'm going to finish this off with some heart stamping. I'm using a roller date stamp to, the enamel dot moved. I think I'm going to fix that. I'm going to realize that it fell off of the butterfly on the top, and I'm going to fix that up. So here I'm just kind of, I think it's a Maggie Holmes roller date stamp, and I like the hearts on there, so I'm just gonna add a few of that. I'm doing some first and second generation stamping, and I'm also going to be adding my date. I'm gonna write the journaling was June 2016. So there's my page, and there's some close-ups, and if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you when I see you. Bye guys.